Hi quilty friends, welcome to Bee Quilting's Block of the Month 2023. Behind me you see the quilt that you'll be completing. It's called Zephyr and it uses Wilmington Prints fabrics and it finishes queen size at 96 by 102. It will take you 10 months and on the 15th of each month you'll be able to pick up your kit for the next month. If the 15th is on a Sunday or a Monday when we're closed, then it will be available on Tuesday. Okay, we will be using the Tucker rulers for this. You'll need the Tucker Trimmer 1, Wing Clipper 1 and 2, and the Corner Pop. If you do not own these rulers during the block of the month, as long as you're signed up, they'll be 10% off for you to purchase in the shop. It would also be helpful if you had a magic wand. If you don't know what this is, then you obviously don't have one, but you will see it in the first video that you watch, and that will probably be used every month, but it's also optional because there's a workaround. You can draw a line down the middle and a 1/4 inch on each side. So if you don't want to purchase that, you don't have to. A couple of tips and tricks along the way. First of all, label everything. The first month your fabric will arrive labeled. My suggestion is that for each fabric you get a plastic bag and you put it in there and label the bag. The fabrics have letters assigned to them. You'll receive this the first month as well, but the fabrics will actually be labeled for you the first month. After that, they will not. So that's why I'm telling you I would get plastic bags. That way you can put your leftovers in it. So in case you have a month where you make a mistake, you might have enough leftovers to go back and find a piece that's big enough to correct your mistake. Okay, the other labeling has to do with the construction. In the directions, you will see that as you construct things, she labels them. Here's a strip set, and you cut it up, and then each piece that you cut off is a unit 1. You will then use unit 1 here, so label those all unit 1. You'll then use it here, surround it with other fabric. It now becomes unit 2. Change the label to read unit 2. Keep doing that as you build your blocks, because if you don't, you're going to get very confused and it's very difficult to identify the blocks. So especially at the end. So when you get to the end, make sure that all the blocks that you've constructed have a label on them. See, it says, now you know you're done, block 13A. She calls them units until you get to the final product. The final product is called a block. So once you get to block 13A, that's finished. You'll be putting it away to be sewn into your quilt at the end. Okay, so labeling is very important or you'll get very confused. All right, you will be receiving supplemental directions from us. The supplemental directions will follow the same format every month. Up here, it shows you what fabrics you've received and how much you have received of each one. If you find a mistake, immediately call us and we'll fix it for you. It tells you the tools that you'll need that month, and then it says how to follow the cutting directions. Okay, the cutting directions are here on the regular pattern. This one is telling you that you're going to follow for fabrics A through G, J and K, you'll follow these directions. But for fabric H, you're going to follow these directions. The changes in cutting directions have to do with using the Tucker rulers. Okay, everything is cut just slightly bigger, so you need to follow these directions. So my suggestion is you read through the supplemental directions first before you begin so that you know where you need to refer to these directions and where you need to refer to the other. Then they go on to give you piecing directions, and they're numbered just like this. Here's piecing direction number 1. It tells you to complete it as written. Number 2, you're going to do it as written, but you'll be using 3.5 inch blocks instead of the 2 5/8 inch blocks that it says. So that's all that you'll do is follow these directions coupled with these. Okay, now, we always get a question about thread. I used light gray thread throughout the entire quilt. I used 50 weight cotton, so Aurifil or Superior, both available in the shop. The other thing is measure. Measure as you go. if you look at the directions, you will see that very often they tell you this unit should now measure, okay, here, 4¾ inch square unfinished. So this should be 4¾ by 4¾ If it isn't, now's the time to figure it out. So in other words, you need to sew this strip set together, measure and make sure it measures 4¾ wide. If it doesn't, there's something wrong with your seam or your cutting. You have a mistake already. So just be sure that every time they give you a measurement, that you make sure that your measurement, that your pieces are coming out. If not, solve it then. Don't push it down the road and figure you'll solve it in the end. It's not going to work. So be measuring as you go. There's measurements available on almost every step. Okay, some other things about equipment. I suggest that you change the needle in your machine and start this beautiful large quilt with a fresh needle. Also a sharp blade. If your blade isn't sharp, you're chewing up your fabric and you're not getting accurate cuts. So a fresh needle and a fresh blade can be helpful. I used a 6×24" ruler quite a bit. I also used a 3×12" and some of the square rulers that I have. So those might be some things that you consider using along the way. Okay, last but not least, prizes. Okay, there's prizes to be had along the way as well as at the end. So each month when you come to pick up your new kit, go back and be sure that you bring with you the pieces that you finished from the month before. If you finished all the pieces from the month before, you get to put your name in the prize bucket. Every few months we choose for some prizes, or once in a while we just offer everybody that's caught up a prize. So be sure that you're bringing those pieces in as you go. At the end, there's always a party, which is usually a lot of fun, and we pick out of the prize bucket for bigger and better prizes there, and the best prize being free long arming on this quilt. So be sure that you do that. Okay, month one. Let's get down to what's going to happen. Month one, you will be, I already showed you, you will be cutting everything almost the same as it says in your directions, and then you'll be piecing. You will need to use 2 of the Tucker rulers. You'll be using the Tucker trimmer. If you have not used that before, on a link from our website, you can get to our YouTube channel where there is a basic video about the Tucker trimmer. The other one you will be using is the corner pop. If you haven't used that before, you want to watch that video as well. Those 2 videos will help you to complete these steps as they're written, except you will be using those methods. So watch those 2 videos. If you still have questions, stop by the shop anytime. We're glad to help you. Almost everybody in the shop knows how to use the Tucker trimmer and the corner pop ruler, so they can help you. So don't hesitate to stop by and say, can you show me? But bring your pieces with so that you have something to show us what it is you're confused about. Okay?
Tucker trimmer too.
Oh, in the very first month, one of the things is the Tucker trimmer 2 would be the size ruler that you need to complete the pieces. We're not asking you to buy that at all. We have one, so bring your pieces in when you come to pick up your other, your month 2, and we'll have the Tucker trimmer 2 available so you can use it or we can help you to use it, because that's the only month that you use it. The other rulers you'll use multiple months. The Tucker trimmer 1, the wing clipper 1 and 2, and the corner pop will be used, and the magic wand almost every month. So if you don't have one of those, you really might want to consider it. It makes everything much easier. Okay? Happy quilting. We'll be so happy to see you each month as you pick up your kits.